The disciple Peter. He was a devoted disciple of Jesus. He was bold in his faith, trusting of God, and dedicated to spreading the gospel to all people. Yet there was a point in his life when he blatantly denied Jesus 3 times. On the night of Jesus' crucifixion, Peter chose the world over God and denied his relationship to him. Oftentimes, we are exactly like Peter. We are ashamed or embarrassed of our relationship with God. Sometimes it's because the world tells you that Christianity is not socially acceptable. Other times it's because we're afraid of being judged or we feel fake. This source of shame from our faith can stem from where we find our identity. We must find our identity in God. 2 Peter 1:3 says, "His divine power has given us everything we need for a godly life through our knowledge of Him who called us by His own glory and goodness."
A person. And what we think is that people can take us to the place we want to go. And people can give us what we need, provision. And people can tell us who we are, identity. And people can give us purpose. And people can set our parameters. But there is only one person who can, will, and has everything you need. And that's God.
Hi, it's MaryCate, and today I'll be talking about how I recently realized that we're really content to be incomplete. I was having this conversation with someone, we were talking about the void that we both feel inside of us. And my friend, they tried different tactics, like they would do sports, and they would do all of these extracurricular activities to try and fill the time and try to distract themselves from the void that they felt. But in the end, no matter how many friends they obtained or followers or leadership positions, any of this, the void continued, and it never really distracted from how broken they truly felt. Other people turn to relationships in order to fill the void. People genuinely don't like who they are, and so they try so hard to find someone else to find their identity in. And none of this is to say that relationships are bad. They can be great, as long as you're not in one solely to distract yourself from how broken you truly feel. We use noise to block everything out. And noise means relationships or extracurricular activities, anything. I use friendships. I get really, really involved in all of these super deep friendships, and they mean so much to me. I'm like, I need them to be deep. I need them to be meaningful. And it totally distracts me from having a relationship with Christ, because you can have 5,000 friends and feel completely alone. You aren't ready to have a relationship with other people if you don't have a relationship with Christ. Or there are the people who complain about never being in a relationship. We love to cry about how nobody wants me and I want to be wanted. And this entire time, Jesus is desperately trying to reach you with his hand extended, saying, I'm pursuing you. I want you. I'm not going anywhere. Please, just take my hand. I can heal you. I can complete you. Just take my hand. And that's the dream, right? For someone who is perfect and will love you unconditionally and will not judge you. And you will never have to fear that they're going to leave you. But I'm ashamed to admit that it was God who completed me, and not some relationship. I've gotten it in my head, and I don't know how I got in here, and I hope that other people are like this too, and I'm not the only jerk. But I've always thought that having a relationship with Christ is super nerdy. I've somehow gotten to the conclusion that your relationship with God reflects your social status, which is not true. In reality, Jesus is for everyone. It's not up to any of us who can and can't worship. Like, there's this whole stigma surrounding Christianity, and it's only this set group of people can worship, only the nerds or whatever. Only people who look and act like this, who support this, who love this, and who hate this. But Jesus is for everyone. He's for people in every single corner of this high school. And thinking that it's not cool enough, that you're too cool, is a waste of time. It's a waste to sit there and think that you're too cool to have a relationship with God, when all of that time can be spent on growing closer to God and becoming a happier person. We're not always going to be in high school. There's going to be a time very soon, for us seniors, where nobody will know who we are. We're going to go somewhere and the slate will be wiped clean. We're no longer going to be known for this box that high school shoves us in. Why waste our time now on trying to make everyone around us think that we're cool, when in less than a year for some of us, those people won't be around us. None of these people's opinions are gonna matter in less than a year for some of us, and at the tops 4 years. It's gonna be a whole new group of people, so why are we wasting our time now on trying to be cool? Why are we wasting our time on being content to be incomplete when we could be whole through Christ? And not to get all fire and brimstone, and please don't mistake me for being like that, but in the end, every single one of us will be facing Christ, like face to face. And again, I'm not trying to be like, you're all gonna go to hell. Like, I genuinely mean, what kind of attitude do you want to have when you get there? Do you want to get there and be like, finally I get to see God? Or do you want to be, shoot, I've spent this entire time trying to be too cool, and now I'm here, and I've got nothing to show for it. I've got no relationship. There's no need to be ashamed of allowing God to work on you and through you. And to get there, you have to stop running. You have to stop running from your void. You have to stop prioritizing your popularity. You have to stop running. I realize that not everyone is ready to let go and let God take control, because it's scary. Being one of the most stubborn people on earth, I hate giving up control. And at this point, I've neglected him for so long. And it's hard not to think about if he'll still want me. I've spent my entire life halfway believing in him, being ashamed of him, and will he still want me? And if you've spent this entire chapel zoning me out and you just zone back in, there is nothing that you could do or say that could separate you from the love of Christ. No one is excluded from the love of Christ. I don't care how long your hiatus on Christianity has been. Nothing, no time, no language, no kind of barrier can separate you from the love of Christ. And I used to take that as a challenge, but it's not. After resisting him for years, halfway believing in him, being ashamed of him, he still pursued me. I don't want any of you to let Satan cheat you out of a second of the beautiful path God has for you. Take his hand.